Hello, welcome back to another video. Alright, so today we're gonna talk about, I don't know if it's a controversial topic, but puzzles from Aliexpress. Okay, so recently I got recommended a puzzle by one of my viewers on stream that I should do without a reference image, and I really like doing puzzles without reference image. Not to speedrun, even speedrun actually. Even speedrunning, I feel like it teaches you to recognize the piece shapes, pay attention to the fine details. Anyways, this is a 1,000-piece puzzle they recommended me, and this is the quote from the person why they recommended me this puzzle. They said, "When I saw it, I thought of you." And let's see what's the image. As you can see by the title, it's puppies pooping. So they thought of me. I guess I just couldn't say no. Anyways, I bought the puzzle and I did it over 3 days, I think. I didn't have a lot of time. And the thing is, I wanted to record it, and I'll start playing the recording, me making the puzzle right now here. Right here. The thing is, though, that on the first session, I forgot to press record. So the first 3 hours, I think maybe three and a half hours, I don't have footage of because forgetful Myers forgetful. So the rest of the footage, I do have the rest of the footage, so we're gonna watch it together. Well, not together, you'll see me making it. But I'm gonna talk about the quality of the puzzle, the price, basically pros and cons of buying the puzzles from Aliexpress, I guess. What can you expect, basically? So let's start. I'm gonna list the pros and cons on this other side, right? You will be able to see as we make the puzzle. Right, so let's start with the pros, because there are some pretty good ones, actually. So first pro is price. It's very affordable, even with including shipping. I think in total paid like, I don't know, 8-9 euros with shipping. The puzzle itself was like 5.5 euros. Shipping wasn't very expensive. So for a 1,000-piece puzzle, actually that's pretty good. That's pretty good price. Second pro was the piece shape. Actually, I didn't have any false fits. And that is very surprising for very cheap puzzles. So the piece shape actually was very good, and even they had directions. They were kind of longer than they were wide, so you could kind of tell which way the pieces are gonna go. Let's start with the cons, and there are many cons. Okay, first con is the thickness of the pieces, okay? So they were very, very fine. So if you can see, like, look how thin they are. And the problem with that was that I actually struggled with picking them up, the pieces. Like, I had to kind of like claw it. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. Like, claw them or slide them off the table to pick them up. And that was also a problem when you had made a section that wasn't connected to the puzzle. They were very hard to move. More than 2 pieces together, they would fall apart, they would crumble, you wouldn't be able to pick them up. Eventually, if I had big enough sections, I started using a piece of paper to move them around. Yeah, the pieces, I mean, they are pretty sturdy. So they're not like very flimsy, I guess, but they're just so thin that I really just struggled picking them up. The second biggest con is the quality of the image. Okay, so on the box, right, it looks fine. They even give you a poster, and on the poster you can already see a little bit, but on the poster it kind of looks fine too. But it seems like they just blew up the poster image to the size of a 1,000-piece puzzle. The quality of the puppies or the details, fine details, weren't very good. It seemed like also some puppies were more in focus than others. I don't know, it just was a struggle doing it especially doing it without a reference image was a big struggle. Because they were like so similar. The color sometimes, yeah. The quality of image wasn't very good. Alright, and I remembered another pro. That's what you get when you don't script your videos, I guess. They have a solution on the back of the puzzle box. how you should do the puzzle. So if you are a first-time puzzler, they even include on the back of the pieces like a code. So you can see that this in section they have letters on the back of the pieces. So if you are really struggling, and it wasn't the case for me because they didn't have false fits, so I didn't actually necessarily need to use this cheat. Well, it's not a cheat, it's like a guide. But yeah, doing it without a reference image definitely didn't make it easier. But yeah, this puzzle guide, the little blurbs on the back and the codes on the back of the puzzle could help you put this puzzle together. That's nice. Another con was the glare. The puzzle had a horrible glare. So even with the natural light, I mean, you had to kind of lean over it. You couldn't watch it with an angle. Basically, on the puzzle, you kind of had to have the pieces underneath yourself to be able to avoid the glare. So yeah, that's another con. Those are the pros and cons that pop to my mind right now. I think that pretty much covers it. Let's talk about how I solved the puzzle actually, because I did the full flip. My table is not very big, so it was a bit of a struggle, and so I was building as I was sorting. When I flipped pieces, if I found some pieces that looked like they for sure go together, I built them. I started with the edge, I started with the sky, because they stood out, they were blue, easy. And eventually, I actually didn't initially, because I didn't have a reference image, I didn't actually build the puzzle by the puppies. I actually built them by the background grass color, because it was much brighter at the top than it was at the bottom. So that's how I actually built the puzzle. And it wasn't actually too bad. I mean, I've done a 1,000-piece puzzle in slower time than I did this one on the first time, even with the reference image. You know, it always depends on the image, because like Mona Lisa, the Vitruvian Man from Ravensburger, those puzzles took me ages to do, more than like 7-8 hours even. You know, there are really hard puzzles out there, and even if you have the reference image, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna do it much faster than without. And once I finished the puzzle, to my surprise, I was missing a piece. And I can't find it anywhere. So that's the sad part. I also don't think I will be doing this puzzle again. I feel like I'm probably gonna donate it to some charity shop, because I mean, it was so cheap and it's not the kind of image you do again. Overall, I guess I can score it. I'm gonna say 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10 is pretty fair score. I mean, it did have some positives. Like, I was positively surprised about the piece shapes. But the quality of the image was just so blurry, it almost made me go cross-eyed, I guess, while I was solving it. So 4 out of 10, it's pretty fair. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And meantime, I'll be puzzling.